Welcome to the Julianna Forlano Show. I'm Julianna Forlano, lulling you into that Pacifica state of mind that I think our producer just mentioned. Egberto Willies, political activist, author, political blogger, and radio show host, is coming on the show today. He's a Daily Kos featured writer. From the Coffee Party, works on Move to Amend. We've got a lot to talk about him with the upcoming elections. Also joining us again on the show, the most popular guest we have ever had on the show in terms of advocates, Adam Weisman, advocate for an organization that works for trade justice in New York, tradejustice.net. He's coming on to talk about the transatlantic trade and investment partnership that's going on that maybe you don't know anything about. Most people don't. Also joining us in the studio, we're so happy to have him, as always, every Thursday, my good friend and fellow comedian, Scott Blakeman. That was Heart by Keith Lassif featuring Rugby. Find more at reginamdesigns.com. I'm here in the studio with my good friend and fellow comedian, Scott Blakeman. You're listening to the Julianna Forlano Show. Joining us is political activist, author, political blogger, and radio show host, Egberto Willies. Egberto, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Juliana. How are you doing?
Egberto, I love you. I'm so glad you came on the show with me.
Well, of course you know I'm going to come. You ask, I come.
I like that. Egberto Willies is the host of Politics Done Right and Move to Amend reports online. I'll give you the info on that afterwards. You can find all his good work at egbertowillies.com. So what are your prognostications for the upcoming November elections?
I think we are going to have a big surprise because everybody, they're counting out the good old Democrats because we're going to do so badly. And I think what we're going to see is a stealth campaign. I hope I don't make a fool of myself, but this is what I'm seeing in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a whole lot of groundwork going on and nobody paying attention to it. And whenever that happens, you get surprises. So my gut feeling is we're going to get surprises in Texas, we're going to get surprises in Kansas, and we're going to get surprises in Wisconsin.
And that would be all we need in order to maintain the House.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my God. That would be great. And then, we have the House, so
the
we
Senate.
could. Oh, I'm sorry.
We have the Senate.
We have the Senate. We don't have. What do you think that President Obama would do if the Democrats regain the House?
If we gain the House again, what it would be is not what Obama is going to do. It's what us liberals are going to force Obama to do.
Ooh, I like
because,
that.
We decided back in 2009 not to buck anything that the plutocracy forced Obama to do. Instead of getting liberal 100% the way we needed it to be, we stepped back and we said, okay, do stuff. Instead of getting more stuff for more things that are based on our values, okay, you can give a little bit of tax cuts, etc., to people who don't need it. This time around, we won't allow that.
And you think that we'd be able to make some good changes between November and when President Obama is no longer the president?
Absolutely. Let me tell you, if we were somehow to miraculously take the House, it means that the real liberal base came out, because my contention is that this is not a conservative country. This is a liberal country, but liberals don't vote. So if we take it back, it means that liberal votes. And if liberals voted, it means that we want to take what's ours now.
So our next guest that's coming on is talking about trade policy that's going on and TPP and all that stuff.
Yes.
So it seems to me like there is, and some of our listeners have expressed this to me, that regardless of whether there's liberals and Democrats in the House, their concern is that really the system has been so corrupted by the corporate influence of money in politics that even if the Democrats have the House, since they have to spend half their time lobby or trying to get donations, that it wouldn't really affect a change. What do you say to people who have that kind of concern and that kind of concern that might keep them away from voting in November?
That's a very justifiable concern, and that's why I prefaced what I said before, and that is back in 2009, because we had the president there and we assumed he was a quasi-liberal, we said, okay, Mr. President, we won't join the fray and be criticizing you from the left while the others criticize you from the right. We wanted you to have somewhere to lay your head. Now, if we were to gain the whole shebang in its own right, there's no more of that. So therefore, we will be in the streets because this time it's not about money. And if you want to know some good examples about not about money, let's look at the Virginia race. The Virginia race where Cantor, the best funded politician on the planet, was brought down by a Tea Party guy, not necessarily by Coke dollars, but by people just frustrated with this guy.
Yeah, in New York, we've been covering this since the primary. We had Zephyr Teachout running against Cuomo, and we were, hoping to do a primary of Cuomo from the left, as opposed to what happened to Eric Cantor from the right. The right is so virulent, and they come out and they vote. And as you said, the left, not as much.
Right. We don't vote. And the thing about it, and that's why I said that if we were to miraculously get the House, it means for a change that the left came out. And if the left came out, we own it.
So you keep saying miraculously. Is it really, are we on angel's wings here?
Yes, gerrymandering is really a problem. And the gerrymandering is really creating that issue that makes it very difficult for us to win in places like the District 2 here in Texas, which is owned by Ted Poe, where it's enough Republican majority, but very slim majority to make them win. But they pack all these Democrats in like 90% Democrat districts. So all the Democrats are in large numbers in other districts, while a small plurality of Republicans are in others. So it's very difficult to beat that. We need to have like a 6-7% overall advantage to get around that. And right now, we just ain't got that.
Do you think that if we have the House, the Senate, and the White House, that we would be able to do something about gerrymandering? That's that, and getting the move to amend agenda on the list of getting some things done in the last 2 years of President Obama's presidency seems like it would open up our country for some continued democracy.
Yes, but I'll kind of back up a little bit. We don't need the Congress to clean up the gerrymandering. We need individual houses and senates in states. And that's why it is good that Texas has the possibility of electing a lieutenant governor and governor that's Democratic. Texas has a chance of electing a Democratic governor in Missouri. Texas has a possibility of, in these different states, if we can get governors in these states with a malleable House and state Senate, it would do more for us than simply winning the Congress, the United States Congress, this cycle federally. So I would take the states over the federals, the Congress right now, to tell you the truth, because it is more long lasting what they can actually do.
And along, Egberto, this is Scott Blakeman. Along those lines, good to hear from you. Wendy Davis, how does it look? And from being an insider, how hopeful can we be about her chances?
And remember, Wendy Davis is the woman who did the 2,000-hour filibuster in order to protect a woman's right to choose.
Yes.
Right. I tell you what, I was very depressed for a few weeks until her debate 2 days ago, because I felt she was much too managed and she wasn't taking positions that, like I said, Republicans in Texas are not going to vote for Wendy no matter what. So she doesn't need to tailor any messages that goes for Republicans. She needs to tailor her message for liberals to come out and vote. And I wrote a piece for Daily Kos where I said, Texans are it's not a red state. It's a state looking for a reason to vote. Now she went being down 20 points to now being 40-49, meaning he's at 49 and falling, she's at 40 and growing. There's a stealth campaign going on out here where Battleground Texas and a lot of the different Democratic clubs throughout the country, throughout the state, are really doing a ground game of registering people, making sure that their voter IDs are set correctly. Because, as you know, we're one of those states where we are denying people to vote based on an ID, no matter how long they've been voting before. So all of that's being worked on right now. So we believe Leticia Van de Poot, which is the lady running for lieutenant governor, and by the way, the lieutenant governor is more powerful in Texas than the governor itself.
Especially if your governor is Rick Perry, who can't even string a sentence together. He's going to jail, that guy. Okay, anyway.
Juliana, you're such a bad lady.
Thank you. I love that.
But yeah, so I mean, it looks to me, I think we have a great, what I'm looking at is Attorney General, Controller, Lieutenant Governor. Those are the three that stand a very good chance of winning. And Wendy Davis, a plausible chance of winning. So I am hoping that the stars are aligned, that our people come out. But if our people come out, we cannot be beat.
Egberto, thank you so much for joining us on the show. I hope you'll join us again. You always have great insight, and you're right on top of things. He's Egberto Willies. You can find him at EGBERTOWILLIES.com. Thanks, Egberto. Appreciate it.
It was a pleasure, Juliana. Have a great day.
Thanks. All right. We'll be right back after this new song, Afterlife, by Shelley Segal.